Yeah. Alrighty. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. We're kicking off this year with UFC 324. Man, we got a stacked card. Man, just to name a few fights, we got Patty, obviously, versus Gaethje. Harrison versus the Nunes, which is coming out of retirement, which is so dope. We got O'Malley, Yadong. We got Umar Figueroa. So I'm going to only be talking about fights that I've seen both fighters fight, because as a casual, I haven't seen all of these people fight. I've seen Dedrick Lewis fight, but there's a lot of people on this card that I personally have not watched, or at least if I have, maybe I don't remember their names and or remember their performance. So I'm going to start off first off with Umar Nurmagomedov and Figueredo. So Umar has a record of 19 wins, 1 loss, 0 draws. His biggest fight up to date is against Merab, which he did lose, but he put up a good fight. For Davison Figueredo, his biggest fight, I would say, was against Peter Yan. He also did fight Corey Sandhagen, which he lost to Peter Yan. He lost to Corey Sandhagen. He's also known for his trilogy fight against Brandon Moreno. My prediction for this fight is Umar, he's faced some tough opponents. His second to most recent fight was against Merab, and Merab took that, but I think he put up a good fight, and he has the potential to become a UFC champ. Figueredo is a good fighter, but I definitely don't think he's on the same level as Umar right now. So for that reason, I got to give it to my boy Umar. So that's the first prediction that I'm making. Figueredo versus Umar. I got Umar Nurmagomedov. The Sugar Show is back. Now we got Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Song. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't think it's gonna be a hard match for Sean, but I don't think it's gonna be an easy match for Sean. Just based on the fact that, Sean O'Malley, I feel like he's in a weird place where maybe MMA is just not his main focus anymore. I just see him doing so many other things. I just don't know if he has that same hunger to get back to where he was as a UFC champ. He defended his title once against Chito Vera, and he dominated in that performance, especially with that freaking baseball hit of a knee that he got Chito Vera with on the chin, which for whatever reason did knock him out. But I think maybe his discipline is going to be his fallout. But I may be wrong. I like Sean, but if he has to face someone who's good at grappling like Merab again, it's not going to go in his favor. For this prediction, I want to give it to Sean, but something is telling me that Son is might surprise people. So I'm gonna call it for Son for this one. Next, coming back from their 2-year retirement, I usually don't get too excited about women's UFC fights, but Nunes is coming back from a 2-year retirement to fight Kyla Harrison. I think this is going to be a very good fight. I want to give it to Kyla, but Nunes has been in there. I've seen some of her fights. She can get down. But I don't know, man. I think Kyla has really good ground game too. The records are Kyla has 19 victories, 1 defeat, and 0 draws. Amanda Nunes has 23 wins with 5 defeats. I believe 3 of those defeats were in the UFC and 2 were before UFC. and Strikeforce, but I'm not entirely sure. But I'd have to give it to Kyla for this one. That's just my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see come fight night. But I got Kyla on that one. It's Patty the Baddie. Alright, anyways. So, Patty the Baddie looking to become UFC champ against Justin Gaethje. Paddy Pimblett has a record of 23 wins, 3 losses, and 0 draws. As of Justin Gaethje has 26 wins, 5 losses, and 0 draws. This is the main event. I personally would have preferred Paddy versus Arman, but you know, this is what we got. With Ilias being out of the picture right now due to personal problems, I really wanted to see Ilya and Paddy fight. You know, they got that lore behind them and that drama, so we all know that would sell. But we got Gaethje and Paddy. I personally think Paddy should win. On paper, Paddy should win. He has a good ground game, and I know his striking can be a little sloppy. He does tend to get hit a little bit, but if it stays on the feet, Gaethje's going to be in his element. Gaethje's not much of a grappler, so I'm assuming Paddy's going to want to take it to the ground, just like he did with Michael Chandler. He took him to the ground and pounded him. I'm assuming that's his game plan. I mean, why wouldn't you strike for your enemy's weakness? So I'm going to have to give it to Paddy. But yeah, that's my prediction. I'm going to give it to Paddy. I'm going to just be honest. On paper, he should win. Gaethje might come out surprising me, but you know, he's I don't know if Gaethje's got it like he used to. Especially, you know, after UFC fighters get knocked out, you know, typically their career is just not always the same after that. I don't know if it's their confidence or I don't know what it is, but we'll see. We'll see come fight night. But Gaethje has faced very tough opponents. You know, he's faced Khabib, which is one of his losses. He's faced Dustin Poirier back in the day, you know, when Dustin was in his prime, you could say. Eddie Alvarez. His most recent was Max Holloway. That's his most recent loss. And Charles Oliveira came a few years ago. But I don't know. I'm just not entirely sure with Justin, just because of his grappling. That's one of the main reasons why I'm just not 100%. But he does have a resume that impresses me more than Paddy's. So I think it's going to be an interesting main event. I do think Paddy's going to strike a bit and then go for takedowns. Try to submit him or ground and pound him. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.